Hello, my name's Marissa, and I'm going to show you how to do this necklace today. And it does not take a lot of supplies. And I did make this one using the contents of April's treasure box. So I'm going to show you how to do one today in different colors. So we're going to start out using our 6mm pearls, our 11-0s, and our 8-0 seed beads, and they are both Miyuki. And I do have a comfortable amount of thread and a stop bead. So you are going to need a stop bead. So we are going to start with, and I am going to have to hold my original close to me so I can see what I did. We are starting with a pearl, an 11-0, an 8-0, an 11-0. So this is our first step, just a line of pearls separated with an 11-0, an 8-0, and an 11-0. And I am going to do a line of 13 pearls. I also use 13 for this one here. And I like how the 13 pearls looks on me, but you don't have to do 13. You can do more, you can do less. So, but on my video, I'm going to show you with 13. So pearl, 11-0, 8-0, no, pearl, 11-0, 8-0, 11-0, and then pearl, and then 11-0, 8-0, 11-0, pearl, 11-0, 8-0, 11-0, whoops, please stay, pearl. So far I just have 3. So I'm going to continue doing this until I have my 13 pearls, and I am going to end with a pearl. So I started with a pearl and I'm going to end with a pearl. So continue doing this quick and easy step until you have the amount of pearls that you want on your necklace, and I will meet you back.
How are hundreds of jewelry makers saving huge each month on premium jewelry making kits? With the PotomacBeads kit subscription, you'll receive 3 brand new kits every month for as little as $49.99. That gives you a savings of up to $70 per box on retail prices. And you get free shipping. And there's no long-term commitment. You can cancel at any time. Subscribe today and enjoy top quality kits and massive savings. Visit PotomacBeads.com/subscriptions today, or click on the link below in the description to get links to get back to our website.
Okay, so I'm finished adding my pearls, and that was an easy first step. So now let's move on to our next easy step, and we are going to be using we're still going to be using our 11-0s. Now we're also going to be using our 2mm crystal rounds and our drops. So let me get some on my mat here. All right. So coming out of my pearl on the very end, now we're going to do 3 11-0s, a crystal, 3 11-0s, and we're going to, coming out of my pearl here on the end, here's my string. I'm going to circle around and I'm going to go back through my pearl. So that's going to put those beads here on top of my pearl. Okay, so here's what we have: 3 11-0s, a crystal, and 3 11-0s. And I'm coming out of my pearl there. So now what we're going to do is we're going to add a crystal. I can't really see them. A crystal, a drop, an 11-0, another drop, and a crystal. Okay, so this is what you should pick up: a crystal, a drop, an 11-0, another drop, and another crystal. Coming out of my pearl, and I'm going to circle back through my pearl again to put everything there on the bottom. And this is what you should have. So now I'm just going to sew through these to put me in position to continue. So I'm going to go through everything here on the bottom, and be careful not to skip anything. Okay. Like I was saying, be careful not to skip anything. Let me just hold this closer to me so I can see. All right, now I'm coming out of my pearl. I'm going to tighten everything from here, and it's okay to do this because we are going to do this later anyway with the rest of our components. Pick up, whoops, a 15-0, which I haven't put on my mat. So these are really gold. Okay, that's fine. Okay, pick up a 15-0 and go through your 11-0. And then sew on through into your next pearl. So this will put us in position to continue adding all these beads to the rest of our pearls. The beads that go on top of the pearl and the beads that are going to go on the bottom of the pearl. So again, it's 3 11-0s, a crystal, 3 11-0s, coming out through here, going this way, all right. Now we're going to pick up these beads again on the bottom, which is a crystal, a drop, an 11-0, another drop, and then another crystal. Okay, crystal, drop, 11-0, drop, crystal. Coming out of my pearl, go through my pearl again and sew on over into your next pearl, being careful not to skip this little grouping here of 11-0, 8-0, 11-0. Okay, so while you're doing this step, everything's going to be flipping all over the place. That's okay. It's going to do that. We will fix that later on. So coming out of our pearl again, 11-0, 11-0, 11-0, crystal, and then 3 11-0s. And then back in through my pearl and just my pearl. And then we're picking up our bottom beads again, which are these. Okay, so it's crystal, drop, 11-0, drop, and crystal. And then going through our pearl again. And then if you catch the beads after your pearl, that's fine because you need to be coming out of the next pearl. Okay, so go ahead and do this all the way down your necklace, and then when you're done, when I'm done, I will show you what's next. Okay, so I added all of my beads to the top and the bottom and underneath my pearls. So now I'm coming out of my pearl here at the end. Here is my string. Now here is where we're going to work here on the bottom, okay, at these beads. Now I'm going to just do one little drop here at the center. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Here at my 7th bead, I'm going to make a little drop here, all right? But you can do as many of these little drops as you want. I'm just gonna do it on one because I liked it. I liked how it looked. So I'm gonna do that. Okay, so coming out of my pearl, go ahead and go through your crystal, your teardrop, your 11-0. Just gonna hold on to everything. I did add some thread, so you will be needing to add thread. Now I'm gonna go through my 11-0, my teardrop, and then when we're coming out of our crystal, we're going to add a 15-0, and we're going to sew through our 8-0 that is from our first step. Okay, so out of my crystal, we're gonna do 15-0, go through your 8-0 and only your 8-0. And then when we're coming out of our 8-0, we're gonna add another 15-0 as well. And from here, we're going to just hop on over to our crystal, teardrop, and 11-0 crystal component here, okay? So you can see now what I did. I added the little 15-0s there. So now I'm coming out of my teardrop. I'm gonna go through my 11-0, my next teardrop. Gonna go through the crystal. And then from my crystal, again, goes 15-0. Go through your 8-0 only. And then pick up another 15-0. Whoops. Gotta. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and untangle my thread. Okay, so I added, I'm not done yet, but I was adding my 15-0s here. Remember, connecting our crystals to our 8-0, 15-0 crystal, down these, and then coming out of the crystal, 15-0 through the 8-0 and so forth. So now I'm at the middle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'm at the middle of my necklace. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, just making sure. And I remembered I have this pendant, so I'm gonna attach this pendant to this. And you don't have to do this. If you don't have this little pendant, that's fine. You can add something else. You can just leave it as is and continue adding your 15-0s. But I remember that I had this and I've been saving it. So I want to see how it's going to look. I mean, I can always take it off. But coming out of my 11-0 here, I'm going to pick up a 15-0. And then I'm going to let my 15-0 drop. Maybe. All right, let my 15-0 drop. And then I'm gonna go through my pendant. And then I'm gonna go back up my 15-0. And then back through this 11-0. So I'm gonna pull tight. And then I'm going to pick up another 15-0. Let that drop. And then I'm gonna go back through my loop on my pendant again. That way our pendant will stay facing forward. I think it will if I do it like this. Okay, when I'm coming out of my loop, I'm gonna go through that 15-0 again and then back out that 11-0. And then I'm gonna continue adding my 15-0s and connecting to the 8-0s. Okay, so I'm going to go back through this 11-0 and out, and I'm going to continue adding my 15-0s. So it's kind of hard to tell to see how it's going to look when it's all done, but I can tell you right now I'm kind of liking it. So all right, I'm gonna go ahead and finish adding my 15-0s, and then we will do our next step together. Okay, so I added all of my 15-0s, my pendant, and on my last one, there was already a 15-0 here. So for my 8/0, I just went through straight through my 11/0 and out of my purl. So now I'm coming out of my purl. And now we're going to be working with more 8/0s, okay? So go on up to through these 3 seed beads, through these 3 11/0s, and then through the crystal. And then when you're coming out of the crystal, you're going to go through 2 of your 11/0s after your crystal. So only through 2, because remember we put 3. And here is where we're going to add. Here is where we're going to add an 8/0. And then I'm going to go up through my 2 crystals, through my 2 8/0, through my 2 11/0s before my crystal, and then through my crystal. And I'm going to add this 8/0 right there. Okay, so again, coming out of my crystal here, go down 2 11/0s and only through 2. And then pick up an 8/0 and go through the 2 11/0s before your crystal and through your crystal. And then we're going to go down 2 11/0s after my crystal, and we're going to do that again. So we're going to keep adding, I cannot talk today. We're going to keep adding our 8/0s in between these little sections here. And again, we're only working with our 8/0s, and we'll be going through our 2 11/0s before our crystal and our 2 11/0s after our crystal. So I'm going to continue doing this step, and then I will meet you back after I finish this step. Okay, so I finished adding my 8/0s, and I have a little bit of a mess on here on my mat, but that's okay, because with my necklace, the necklace portion that I do now, I will just, clean up my mat a bit. So now, when you're adding your 8/0s, you're going to be tempted to pull really tight. Just pull enough to where you get your 8/0s in there. And then you want to I kept doing this, right? So that it would, because I want it to lay flat. So here we go. This is what I have. Now I'm coming out here at the end. I'm going to go through these 3 beads. And then I'm going to go through my pearl again. I'm going to go through my pearl again. And from here, I am going to go up those beads again. My 3 11/0s. And I'm going to be coming out of the last 11/0 of my 3 here. And I'm going to start my necklace. But I just wanted to do that to kind of make sure everything was nice and put in place. Okay, so I'm coming out of these 3 beads, and I am going to start my necklace now. And I'm just going to lay it flat again. Okay, so now I'm going to start my necklace now from these 3 beads. And I'm going to just do a simple pattern of some 11/0s, my 8/0s, and my crystals. Kind of like this, where I did, I think it was something like 10 11/0s, my crystal, my 8/0, my crystal, and so forth. So I'm going to go ahead and do that again with this one. And when I am done, I will show you how it looks. Okay, so this is my finished piece, and I just did a simple pattern here for my necklace. I did use wire guards at the end, And then when I came down back into my necklace, I just tied knots like I did one here, and then I put my needle in through the crystal, and then went back out of my pearl, and I just kind of sewed through my piece following thread paths. So this is how I did it, and I have to say that I really like it with this pendant. And so this is how it looks. And again, you can use as many pearls as you want. You don't have to put a pendant in the center. You can just leave it without and it'll still look pretty. Or you can just add a teardrop and another teardrop. And just like the one that I did here, and I like these colors too. This is from April's Treasure Box. And I love these lavender pearls, and I think they look stunning with these teardrops here. And so as you can see on this one, I just did a little teardrop here. And again, I did a similar pattern here on the necklace part. So this is what I have. And you should have something similar if you do make this. And so here you go. I hope you enjoy making this, and thank you very much for watching.